What's happening, folks? Welcome back to another Drew tubing video. We're out here spreading slurry and the big grass field that got reseeded last year, getting interrupted a lot by this tractor because she's needing a new hydraulic filter. So she thinks she's no got oil, but she's working away okay. It's just every now and again it beeps. Aye, very lucky to be spreading. Spread, I dare say, around 30 acres so far, down the bottom of the farm, out the back of the slurry tower, and I'm now spreading up here in this faraway field. We had pipes set up from the back end up the road here, so it was quite an easy straight over to this. But the pump, when we went to use it to spread this field to start with, wasn't spreading because there was an air leak at the pump somehow. There was an air leak in it last year, but we fixed it. It was a ceramic seal at the front of the pump, and basically it stops the slurry going out the front of the pump where the drive shaft spins to spin the macerator inside the reception tank on the Doda pump. That's a mouthful. But basically, it had buggered up. We replaced the seal. It worked away fine. Then all of a sudden it decided to start sucking air out it, so we thought it was gobbed again. But it worked for spreading out the tower, going down the way below the tower, because it had the bank of slurry above it pushing into the pump, so that was fine. And then Dad decided to just try it. Will you shut up? We find once the tractor's warmer. Walter, no. But basically Dad decided to try it this morning, and it worked, pumping it up the hill. Just switched it on, vacuumed it up, switched it on, seen the pipe rising as he was away from the farm. Don't know how that worked, but he switched it off and went away, started rolling up pipes when I was feeding the cows. So fairly pleased to be actually going. The only thing I'm annoyed about is the fact that I don't have my auto steer over, mainly because this is a big long field. I don't mind it so much in the wee fields. It's just when big long fields like this, it's it's definitely easier to do. But I'll need to get it moved over anyway to start using it for sowing whenever that time comes around. The only thing actually I really want for spreading with the pipes is, well, like a couple of things. One, a bigger dribble bar, and two, I'd quite like a flow meter, because when you're spreading straight at the tower you can kind of gauge it off the tank, whereas spreading out the slats at the front of the farm to get up here, it's not that easy to tell, because you have to let it out the tower into the slats, shut it out the tower, and just work away like that. So it's not as easy to tell, and I need to phone the old man and say how much is that out, and then he's to count bolts and what. So a flow meter would have been quite handy for this job, like. Aye, good to get a start to some slurry, like, because the tower was maybe 1 or 2 pumps away from overflowing, I think it would have been. Not great, if I'm honest, like, but it's good to make it this far without having spread through the winter. I've had quite a reasonable winter, actually, to be honest with you. It's been far worse in the past, but aye, no, happy to be out here getting some slurry done in February. This field above us was sold and it's going into trees. That was the neighbour's field. There's an obvious bad drain here. I was speaking to Dad about this earlier. Neither of us can actually remember what the hell happened here, because I don't think it was me and he doesn't think it was him. So one of us is lying. I don't know what one. It's either that or it was silage time, but not really 100% sure. There's actually a threat of snow at the moment as well. See over the hill there, there's snow on the peaks of it. So, aye, funny time of year. And then I was trying to get that field there. You can see a big hole through the middle of a wet bit. That was me buggering about with the digger, acting like a blooming drainage man, whatever you want to call it. Actually, as spreading it, I'm going to have to slow up because I don't think that's coming out very hard, and I'm overlapping quite a bit. Stop it! We need to phone the old man, tell him to rev it up a bit more, because that's pretty pathetic. Hey, so how's everyone else's life going? So neither me or the father is sure why the pump started working again, but here we are. We think, Dad thinks there was something stuck in the seal and pumping 70,000, 100,000 gallon of slurry through it's unchoked it again, so aye, getting a bit more slurry coming out it now, right enough. Not much more. The pipe's no longer flat up the back, so that's better. I got him to rev it up a bit, so that's helped a bit, and he's let some out the tower to thin it up. Seen legendary Holsteins on TikTok. Their wee tractor with a massive boots on it, that would be ideal for this job. So fields are holding, but they're definitely dodgy. We could be doing with a bit more flotation about in certain places for sure. But aye, big boots are the way to go if you're wanting to keep it the slurry, like, Jesus. This tractor's got reasonable sized boots on it too, right enough. It's got 710s on the back and pretty sure there's 650s on the front, so they do better than the rest of the tractors we've got in the yard. So we always try and make sure it's this tractor we put on the dribble bar, like aye. This field's needing a right good feed. You can see the ground's a bit yellow in bits, and some stones have popped out here and there from my uncle's sheep on through the winter, stirring up the place, so I'll need to come in here and lift some stains, boys. Lift some stains before we come in and cut it for silage. And I know the field's a little bit rough, so I'm really not looking forward to carting silage off it and whatnot and cutting it. Yeah, but as you can see there's the odd wee bit of snow kicking about the tractor, so I'm hoping that doesn't bugger up my day. Just really hoping to get a good pile of this done. It's snowing though, it's snowing, Walter. Going fairly well. Slurry's coming out a far better rate now. Actually, that's, oh. There's a reason it was coming out a lot better than I thought it was. The macerator had switched off in the turnaround, so There we go. Back to all the lines. But aye, it's coming at a far better rate now, so that's what you want to see. Ground's getting a good cover in. Aye, looking good, looking good. What's everyone's opinions on this Labour government so far then? Always said I wouldn't get into all this, but oh, it's really pissing me off now. Like, the number of comments about folk not understanding how farms work, the lack of money in it, and whatnot. I mean, how are you supposed to invest in your future if you don't know what the future's going to hold? Somebody dies and then I can't continue to farm. It's not like I have been farming all my life to try and keep the farm going anyway. It's not like it's just getting handed to me on a plate. I had to work to get to this point, you know. That's what I don't think folk understand. Farmers' kids generally do put their graft in from a young age, right up until the point of taking over the farm. Usually not getting any pay, or a bit of pay, or on a type of salary in order to keep the farm going, because in the end up the hope is that you get the farm, only to be told if a parent or family member, whoever owns the farm, I'm getting all muddled up there, dies, you're going to have to sell pieces of your land to pay up the inheritance tax, because farming's profit margins are so terrible. I mean, it's looking quite good now. Beef prices are up, milk prices up and whatnot, but at the end of the day, everything's up, you know. Buying in feed costs up, and leckies up, and fuel, you know, tractors, Jesus, machinery's mental. Even putting up the likes of sheds, land prices, fuck me. I mean, that field up there, we would probably have looked at it, but the price was mental. Like, well, you know, that's 40 acres that just, the roads that goes right up, and because it was an old estate, it would go right into there. But land prices, there's no way you could have looked at it. But forestry, hey, never mind. Aye, Starmer. Jesus, just there's too many clueless folk about, don't understand. They're so out of touch with what we do. I mean, what are we meant to do? Like, we put these big sheds up, investing in the future to make things easier for ourselves. Now that's going to get paid up over a very, very, very long time, and it's all, you know, it's all bank. You know, it's not like it's come out of profit. You know, it's all borrowed money. I'd like to think we're not the only ones in the same kind of boat, but you know, that's the way farming is. Most folk, I dare say, are in debt, borrowing money. So it's not really. The only reason you do it is because you love it. That's what I'll say. And folk don't seem to understand that. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I do love it, but oh, the weight on your shoulders over it all is unbelievable. I'll not be the only one to say that, but as I say, if you don't love it, don't do it. Try and get your breaks. What have you seen? Ah, there's a... Seen a heron. You're not getting it. Aye. If you can, try and take time away from the farm, but I know that's an impossible thing to do, but it takes your mind off it. Doing something different. Working all your life just for work, eh? So many other things out there to try and do, or just get a break from it. But insane pressure from farming. And well, look what I'm having to do now, spread with pipes, which is another expense that's been forced upon us for this green shit. That is not required. There's more running parts. The splash plate does the same bloody job. It's a load of rubbish. It's just another way to try and get you to spend more money. Oh well. Oh, that lever's popped out again. Won't stay in. Don't know why it does that on the turn, but it does. I'm gonna be in here a while. It's a big long field, long runs to drive my brain wild. Hey, 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 hey.